to the Art Council of Greater Lansing's Arts Night In. My name is Clary Sheetlow, my pronouns are she, her, and I'm the Administrative Assistant and Arts Night Out Coordinator at the Arts Council. Arts Night In is a variation of our bi-monthly Arts Night Out event series, which pairs businesses and artists of all sorts to create a unique experience for the community. Arts Night Out brings people together to explore Old Town and to maybe find places they've never been to before. So keep on the lookout for information about the next one, because we hope to see you there. In the meantime, we are so pleased to be able to bring you this virtual experience. Today, I'm in Adnod Art Supply at their new location in Old Town. I'm joined by Adnod owner Casey Sarra and printmaker Randi Richards. Hey, thank you both for being here. We are going to start with a short tour as Casey shows us around Adnod, and then we're going to get to know Randi and learn how to make some prints, which is something you can easily make at home. So thank you for joining us.
People always ask me what Adnod means. Winkin', Blinkin', and Nod, Lansing Smokestacks, and a Eugene Field pole is where we took our inspiration and our mascot, who is Nod. So that's where our name comes from. My favorite part has always been consulting with other artists. I love just the dialogue around art supplies and projects and what they're looking for and what they want to do and what I can help with and consult with. It's just being around artists and talking to other artists. You know, it keeps me motivated and it is inspiring. We focus on a lot of things that you can't find in the area and some imported items. Some of our favorite things are our Midori sketch pads and paper, our Blackwing pencils. Our Make-A-Door kids section is coming out with some amazing glow-in-the-dark items for fall, and we're super excited to get those in stock. Our Gambling paints, our Speedball paints, a little bit of everything. We love everything in our store. We started Adnod in the fall of 2019. Of course, the world ended 6 months later, so it's been a strange couple of years for us, but it was something that I've been working on for a long time, and I don't know, my background is I graduated MSU in the art department in English and film studies, all of which left me managing the art supply store at Michigan State University for almost 2 decades. So a lot of people might recognize me from MSU's art store, because I did that for quite a while, and then we had the opportunity to open our own art store, and we took it. So along with my partner in all things and my spouse Whitney, we took a leap and started an art store. We're excited to open our doors to the public with hopefully the pandemic falling away to nothing. That's our hopes for the next year. We're moving very slowly forward. Eventually we would like to be offering classes and workshops. We're just not quite there yet, but we're excited to get back to things and you know, now that things are slowly returning to some kind of normal, we're excited to get back to it. So one of our favorite things is Maker's Cabinet. They're a wonderful company out of London, and they make some amazing handcrafted products like this iris, which is just beautiful, fun to play with, and very cool. Another one of my favorite things is Blackwing pencils. Their previous limited pencil release was a Woody Guthrie themed pencil. Very cool. They make some really cool pencils, and they're just wonderful.
Well, my name is Randi Richards. I use they and she pronouns, and I'm a local printmaker and painter, mixed media artist, but mostly a printmaker. And I've been doing some gelatin printmaking today. I saw an etching class advertised when I was in college at University of Rhode Island. And I was like, I have to get into that. So I lied to get into the class. I had no experience whatsoever. And that to this day is the only really formal art class I've ever taken. And it was etching, on copper plates where you're covering them with the ground and drawing on them and dipping them in these vats of acid. And running them through a big printing press. And that first pull where I pulled the paper up off the plate, it seemed like magic had occurred, and I've been in love with it ever since. I always have at least 1 or 3 sketchbooks with me in my bag. I'm constantly kind of trying to capture interactions and moments, so I can translate them. So really, I think that's kind of the foundation of my printmaking, is just being really observant and trying to capture things around me. Yes, lots of advice. First of all, I would say embrace the mistakes. They will happen often. They are a learning opportunity. Every failure is an opportunity to learn, and nothing need be wasted in printmaking. We've made so many prints here today, and some of these are going to get cut up and collaged into other prints. Some of them are going to keep getting more prints on top of them. So just keep making mistakes, because that's where I always learn the most. And join Print Club. So Print Club is an up-and-coming social club, an LGBTQ affirming space where printmakers can share their skills. We're going to have demonstrations, co-working time. We may bind some sketchbooks together and do a little zine making, but we're going to just explore printmaking together, share what we know, learn from each other, hopefully have some guests come in from out of town to help us learn together. And we've got a couple of great organizations who are very interested in hosting our club, so that'll be coming up soon. So if you're even just interested in printmaking, we're very committed to making printmaking financially barrier-free. So we've been able to, in 10 days, I'm astonished at this. In 10 days, this community has raised over $3,500 to make this accessible financially for anybody who wants to practice with us. So we have been set up to get our club started in late August, early September, and we have enough to sustain us over the next year. So if you are interested in printmaking in any aspect, screen printing, etching, we're going to be doing collagraph, these monotype prints, making t-shirts, please come practice with us. I was born in Texas and grew up in Flint and kind of a little bit all over. I moved to Lansing for a bit after high school, went to college on the East Coast and came back here. This is my forever city. This is my home. I've been here for about 15 years now. And yeah, this is the community that I want to invest in. Botanical prints are some of my favorite to do this time of year, because we've got just all sorts of fun shaped leaves, or we can borrow from our houseplants. All right, so we're just gonna kind of roll them down, pull some of the ink down. We don't want to have too much ink, because then it'll just kind of squish out. And the idea is to gently kind of have your brayer go back and forth a little bit as you pull it down, and those are going to start to blend together. Ooh, I already like that. And just so we don't mess up our lovely colors, remember not to go this way or this way, because they'll just all start to blend together. But if that's what you want, you can do that too. You cannot mess these up, and there's no judgment in printmaking. All right, let's see what we can do. Let's get this really fun color scheme. We have a little bit of some of the last stencil. The brayer's not quite wide enough there, so I'm going to do a little cheeky, turn it around. So you want to take whatever leaves or plants that you've commandeered and place them down on the ink, and then we'll pull a print from that. And for this, I'm going to use the Baron. just because we really want to try to get all of those nooks and crannies from the leaves to print. The first one will leave just a white impression on the paper, but as we keep printing it, it's going to make some really cool marks on the leaves. Whatever kind of like veins or stems you have, the texture will hopefully show up. And these can be really fun ways to catalog the plant life in your neighborhood. All right, let's see what happens. All right, look at that. Got an impression. We have some of the print below. I really like this kind of blending that's happening. Let's blow some ink on it and see what happens. I just really like these colors. Oh, it's not a mistake. I meant to do that. Yeah, if you're using a plant or a stencil and something doesn't quite behave the way it's supposed to, I would say just go for it. See what happens. All right. Let's see some of this magenta up here. All right, let's see what happens. You don't have to push down very hard with the Baron, it just kind of evens out the pressure. All right, moment of truth. That's fun. I feel like some psychedelic store plans happening. And then when you pull these leaves up, you can see you're going to get another print, which will be really fun. Let's take the print that we've already worked on, this one, and add to it. So one of the things I love about this form of printmaking is that everything is just a real experiment. Like, you really never know what's going to happen when you pull that piece of paper up. But I can already see that I'm going to keep working on this one. I will probably come back in and add some colored pencil and pull up those leaf shapes a little bit, and maybe add some color here too. This has pastel. This has pencil in it. I took like a pink pencil and kind of evened out the shapes in this print. I kind of evened out the shapes in this print and just kind of darkened up a little bit of this area with some pink. It kind of pulled the orange down and made the yellows pop a little more. And these inks dry matte, so they take pencil really well. So they're a lot of fun. So gelatin plates, you can print, you can use anything you have. You can use acrylic paint, just like craft paint from the dollar store. Works actually really well. It dries matte, and you can add colored pencil and pen to it. You can use, if you put down a layer of matte medium and let it dry, you can put pastels on here. This has some pastel printed on it first. So some of these kind of green shapes here are pastel. And then I've got some acrylic paint and ink on this one. So you can use anything. You can take like an ink pen, like a brush ink pen, and draw a picture, let it dry, and then print on top of it, and the print will transfer. So So these are pretty versatile. One of my favorite things to do is just to leave the stencil on, put some ink over it, and then pull it up. It gives you some really fun texture to work with. So if you have an area set up for inking, this can get very messy very quickly. Because you'll just be like, what else can I put? What else can I put ink on and touch it on this plate? I like to reuse as much as possible, so I do end up using a lot of like junk mail envelopes, and feels like we're always in some kind of campaign season, and we send out those nice big heavy cardboard flyers. Those are great for printmaking. One clean brayer left. This is the magic part. I love the peel because you don't know what's going to happen. It's very inky. I would probably let this dry and then put another print on top of it. So as you can see, we have a ton of prints here. One of the things that I love to do with old prints, especially ones that aren't quite working out, is to kind of stick them in a little folder. You can put them in sketchbooks. I like to use them for bookbinding, or just collage material. You can cut them up and kind of paste them into other things. Nothing needs to be wasted. You can even cut them up and collage them onto each other. Yeah, it's really fun. Yeah.
Thank you, Casey and Randy, for your time today, and thank you to everyone who tuned in. Stop by Oddnod's new location at Old Town for all of your arts needs, or visit their website. You can find Randy and Print Club on Instagram. Thank you for joining, and bye-bye.